Alright, a good early morning from Monterey Park, California. It's currently 6:55 in the morning, and I'm on my way out. My destination of the day, well, my final destination of the day will be Davis, California, but my interim destination is San Bernardino, California. And I have a bit of a funky kind of route to get there, shall we say. I'm hopping on the City of Monterey Park Spirit bus that is going to take me to the Cal State LA bus station, where I'm going to transfer to Metrolink. So not really that funky of a route, but I do get to ride a funky little fiefdom bus agency. Speaking of which, the El Sol shuttle absolutely tearing down the streets. Now, the City of Monterey Park Spirit bus is a little bit funky, mostly because the government doesn't actually want it to exist anymore. The city is talking about shutting it down and replacing it with microtransit, so getting to ride it is a bit of a, well, let's just say I don't know if it'll still be there by the time this video comes out. So anyway, I'm gonna catch the Route 5, and that's gonna take me to the transit center. I'm making a solid guess that this is the bus stop next to the 7-Eleven, but there's like no signage or anything, so hopefully this works out. The only way to track the bus is on the app Paseo Go, which is usable. That's all I'm gonna say. 3 minutes early, my cutaway approaches. Ugh, it's a cutaway today. Oh well. Yo, it's the Act and Montebello bus. Alright, well, one easy ride later, the cutaway has dropped me off here at Cal State LA. It was slightly early, so it's a good thing I got to the bus stop when I did, but whatever, I'm here. I have about 45 minutes until my train, and the reason I plan my schedule out like this is because my favorite SoCal coffee chain, Tierra Mia, has a branch down the road from here. So I'm gonna go there, pick up a nice matcha horchata latte and some breakfast, and then be on my way to San Bernardino. Now, it might be a little funky that I keep routing myself through colleges, but colleges often have the greatest number of transit options, speaking of, because, well, we're all broke college students here. And it might be personal bias, but I think broke college student is my favorite genre of bus passenger. You really can see all the different transit agencies here, the, quote, fiefdom, whatever Miles in Transit described it as. Listen, I just like seeing the pretty colors. Foothill Transit. Oh, wow. Daylight savings time means that the sun doesn't come up until like 7 a.m. So right now I'm enjoying the sunrise. And there, I will enjoy my breakfast. Alrighty, the goods acquired. Let's see if I can hustle across the street fast enough to catch the 665 bus so I don't have to walk up the hill again. This route isn't the most frequent in the world, and it was a pretty tight connection between getting my food, so happy I made it. Saves me a 10-minute walk up the hill. One ride that came in clutch later, I'm back here at CSU LA with 20 minutes to spare before my San Bernardino line train to San Bernardino. it is kind of an odd choice to be spending my limited vacation time going to San Bernardino of all places, but if all goes to plan, it should be worth it. I'm going to San Bernardino to check out their BRT system. Yes, San Bernardino of all places has a BRT, to ride their diesel light rail, Arrow, which I rode in a previous video about 2.5 years ago. And 3, an airline called Breeze flies from San Bernardino Airport. Yes, they have an airport too, somehow, to SFO. So, that's how I'm gonna get back today. I'm flying Breeze from San Bernardino to San Francisco. I'm chowing down on a churro muffin this morning. I love churro flavored things. My churro muffin demolished. Onwards to Metrolink. The subterranean CSU LA Metrolink station. The fact that this section is single track is like one of the biggest bottlenecks in the Metrolink system and one of the biggest hindrances to San Bernardino line's frequency. A moderate amount of bus fanning is taking place. This train is late, therefore meaning that my train is late, therefore continuing my streak of inexplicably late San Bernardino line trains. Wow, the sun is bright. Oh. 5 minutes late, but it's here. The trip to San Bernardino is extremely long. If we don't catch further delays, I'll be there in about an hour and a half. Yeah, we're 5 down right now. So much elevated rail. Now imagine if it were electrified and more than, well, I guess they bumped up to half hourly, didn't they? So like, in fairness to Metrolink, the San Bernardino line is definitely one of the most challenging to run frequent service on because of the sheer amount of single track sections. And they did manage to bump up frequency to every half hour pretty recently. But the service span is still pretty awful. Last trains depart from LA and San Bernardino around like 6 p.m. every day. Weekend service is still kind of abysmal sometimes, but you know what? They're improving. I'll give them that. But imagine if it were electric. Approaching Pomona North and marveling at the light rail that's going to come out here. Alright, it's March 10th, 2025. They still haven't opened it. When do we think it's going to open? Oh, there's a new train station. Ooh, historic train depot. Victoria's return to Claremont. Montclair's N-themed Transit Center. Foreshadowing, Omnitrans. More Omnitrans content. Is that the Street View car? No.
Our next station stop is San Bernardino. If this is your destination, please watch your step.
Quite surprisingly, we made it to San Bernardino right on time. This is the first time I've had an experience on the San Bernardino line that wasn't inexplicably 30 minutes late. So, I have a bit of a tight connection, 8 minutes to walk over to the SBX BRT system. and I'll be able to give San Bernardino's BRT system a ride. Now, when I was last here, it was New Year's Day 2023, so there wasn't anything running except for the trains. So today I'm actually excited that I get to test out the Omnitrans bus system. This is a very quirky kind of BRT you never really expected in San Bernardino, of all places. I'm going to take it to the Loma Linda VA Hospital, or the terminus, the southern terminus, of their BRT. Rare transit agency behind the C40 LFR, Beaumont Transit. I didn't realize they had actual big buses. What the hell? Wow. Arrow is so quiet and impressive as always. Alright, I will be back for you later. See, here they got center running busway, median stations. I don't think they do pre-boarding fare payment, but it's honestly kind of impressive that this exists at all. Well, that was my ride on the SBX Green Line, which is definitely the funkiest BRT system in California, I think, given that there's only two. I think this is one of the only places that I can have snow-capped mountains and palm trees in the same shot. But yeah, that was a fun ride. There he goes. Interesting that the Riverside RTA comes here too. So as you can see, the SBX has like the standard fixins of most BRT systems, minus pre-boarding fare payment. Has the transit signals, the bus lanes, all that good stuff. And like, it's a decent BRT. It runs pretty frequently, especially for San Bernardino. It's just that the problem is, on Sundays, no service at all. Like, I don't understand it. It's like if you just close down an entire highway on Sundays just because, like, well, guess not. That's the whole reason that I'm here on a Monday, because I would have left yesterday, but I really wanted to check out this BRT system. Interesting decisions. Now, my next box to tick is to ride the Aero bus, or the Aero train, sorry. And to do that, I'm hopping on the 19 bus. It's a bus route that surprisingly runs every 15 minutes, probably because it's a weekday. But I'm catching it here, and it's going to take me to Redlands University. What's interesting is the SBX is basically paralleled in its entire route by the Route 2, a more local service. The 2 runs 7 days a week, but SBX does not. So I guess that's how they get away with it, because they still have local service. It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, I started there, now I'm here, now I'm going there. Beaumont Transit spotted. Alright, a 20-minute bus ride later, here I am at Citrus and Grove. And the reason I'm here is because the Redlands University Aero stop is just a short walk away. I have about 30 minutes to make this walk, so of course that means I gotta go check out the university that's near here. Down there is the Aero stop. Over here is an empty plot of land. And down here is a rail trail. So I guess if they wanted to extend Aero, they really could have. But at least it services the university. Somewhere useful. Water feature. I do wonder if this is snow runoff. It looks amazingly clear. I can't believe the tall snow-covered mountains in the background. It's giving Colorado as opposed to Redlands, California. Alright, well, I walked around campus a little bit. It would be interesting to go to a school this quiet all the time. It's also entirely possible that they're on spring break, but whatever. Anyway, now I'm walking to the Metrolink station, gonna catch Aero back into downtown San Bernardino, and I've completed everything that I wanted to see here, but there's still another like 5 hours until my flight, so we'll see what I do with my time. It seems like I got here just in time for the train to pull in. Didn't get a nice shot, but hey, I didn't miss it, right? Trains. Those trains are Stadler DMUs, so that center section is an engine compartment. And yeah, they're pretty nice.
The litter bug, so please remember to throw away all your unwanted trash before leaving the train.
One of the stops along this route is Redlands SRE, or the SRE main campus. SRE is the company that makes ArcGIS, and as someone who is suffering through a class about ArcGIS Pro, oh, I'm in the bad place right now. GIS is my nightmare. Back. Made it off of the train. Good to see this old clunker. I'm glad it's still alive. I also see a pretty rare commuter bus over there. That bus goes all the way to Palm Springs. I swear, these things are on their way out, but they're still chugging along somehow. Anyway, that was my ride on Aero. As always, I'm just left wishing that it were more. It was just 20 minutes, and it could be so much more. But anyway, I'm here to switch back to the SBX. I'm going to take it all the way north to its northern terminus. The mountains are so pretty. here I am at the northern end of the route. This isn't the terminus, it does continue one stop further, but everyone else got off here, so I don't think it matters. Anyway, I'm here at CSUSB. I'm just gonna walk around for 15 minutes and then take the next bus going back down. The main library is over there. And here's the rest of the campus, sort of like green area. So yeah, SBX is decent for where it goes. Comes up here to the CSU, so a lot of ridership from college students. I guess it makes sense why it doesn't run on Sundays, but like, it's a BRT service. It should be 7 days a week. Once again, pretending to be a student to find the bathroom. All right, well, I did a quick little walk in circle. I'd like to thank the theater and music department for letting me use their bathroom. And then now it's time to get back onto the SBX. I saw a southbound SBX going by that wasn't scheduled, so it seems like they might be just following headway management and going off of vibes instead of a schedule. But hopefully the next one isn't too far away. There's no tracker, so. It seems like the Suntran MCI has followed me up here. Cool. At something like 100 miles, this is, I think, the longest public transit bus service you can take in California at the very least. It's an insane distance. And all that for free, because I'm a student. Alrighty. There is an SBX. It says Loma Linda VA Hospital. We're back in business, baby. Onboard bike racks. And I just made 30 cents. So now the plan is to just take this back down towards downtown San Bernardino, get some lunch, and then I'll be hopping on the Route 15 that's going to take me to the airport. Yo. Alrighty, I'm off here in downtown San Bernardino, and now I'm gonna walk to this place called Molly's Cafe, see if it's open or not, and try to get myself some lunch. Oh, I guess I was lying and they do have pre-boarding fare payment, or do they? Alright, I guess not. I really can't get over how pretty the mountain is. Like, this is San Bernardino. It's not Denver, Colorado, it's San Bernardino. Alrighty, well, Molly's Cafe is open. Historic Route 66. Huh. Wow, this looks good. No matter what time of day it is, high-calorie diner food will always hit the spot. No wonder Americans are so unhealthy. Anyway, now it is approximately 1:10 p.m. There's a bus that I can take, the Route 15, that's going to get me to the San Bernardino Airport. It'll get me there 2 hours before my flight, which for San Bernardino Airport is probably overkill, but the bus only runs half hourly, and like, what else am I going to do for another half hour? But yeah, San Bernardino has also been good to me. This entire trip has been so good to me. Onwards to Breeze. Yo, prison bus? Now that is an MCI I don't want to ride. Unfortunately for me, the Omnitrans fleet is not all that interesting. Bunch of Excelsiors and the occasional C40 LFR. They want to be Shibuya so bad. It's like I get to enjoy the view of the mountains at the Superior Court, California.
Vamos a pulsar en la puerta trasera.
Good lord, I didn't know Excelsiors were built to go that fast. San Bernardino is just filled with the most like psychotically high speed limits I've ever seen. Anyway, I guess we are in SoCal, huh? So here I am at the San Bernardino International Airport. I don't understand why they call it an international airport. I don't think there's very many international flights that leave out of here. Mine, for example, is only going to SFO. So today to SFO, I'm flying on Breeze. Now, who is Breeze? They are I believe it's ultra low cost carrier. So they're one of those like no frills, you pay a low amount of money and then you have to buy everything else kind of carriers. They're a relatively new company. They were started, I believe, by the former JetBlue CEO. Okay, there's road maneuvers of questionable legality happening. They were started by the JetBlue CEO, and they operate a fleet of Airbus A220s to smaller, lesser-known airports. For example, San Bernardino. They also operate like their planes like buses. Basically, my plane started in Provo, and then is stopping in San Bernardino to pick me up, and then going to SFO from there. And yeah, it should be a fun experience. I've heard nothing but good things about Breeze, so I'm really excited. To make things a little bit more exciting, when I was selecting seats, I noticed that a seat in the back of the plane cost $18. But a seat at the front in their first class was $23. So the choice was simple. I am flying in first class today. And the entire ticket itself is only like $30, so it's a pretty good deal if you ask me. Up until like a month ago, I didn't actually know San Bernardino had an airport. If I remember correctly, this airport's primary carriers are Amazon's Prime Air, shipping things to and from, well, places. So it kind of makes sense that they'd pick an airport like San Bernardino. It's just very interesting that I get to fly out of here. Not every day you get to say you took a plane out of San Bernardino, is it? South African Airways? What's that doing here? This airport is very optimistically built for the amount of traffic that actually comes through here. So, flying out of here will be interesting. Since Breeze is the only airline that comes through here, it's not hard to make a choice on where I go. Is this my plane? Alright, I was the only one at security. So now I'm through, and I get to hang out here for a little bit. And it seems like there's a lot of planes parked here that... There's a lot of rare planes going on right now. Oh boy. Unidentified planes over there. Possibly 727s? We'll see. A lot of Prime Air back there. Cool. And then there's a Delta plane that's on for some reason. Delta doesn't fly here normally. As well as a graveyard of other Delta planes. I wonder what's going on with that silver plane back there. Another 727? The Delta planes over there are in various states of disrepair. This is a very nice terminal. And it's all mine. Whoa, that's an A340. This airport can take an A340? And then there's more former Delta jets. Wow. Open air luggage processing. Those old girls back there. This is funky. I would enjoy flying a lot more if it were always like this. I mean, granted, I still have 2 hours until takeoff, but this is nice. Interesting. So that Delta plane is an A220 and it's tracking on flight radar. No idea where it's going though. It's moving. Now where's it moving to? They got the airport fire department following them around? What did this plane do? My plane's here. There's a whole other terminal over there that just isn't used, because I think that's the international portion. We've been delayed. Apparently they lost a passenger back in Provo. Oh dear.
Apologize for this delay.
Alrighty, it's showtime. I am in seat 3A today. This is fun.
After I pull that up, just bring it back just across.
We'll be happy to reseat you. In-flight crew in the Atlas is you and help you find your seat. Welcome aboard and enjoy your flight.
So much storage opportunities.
Hold the device as long as they're set to airplane mode. Please take your seat, fasten your seatbelt, open your window shades.
Jet bridge is pulled away. Let's roll.
Good afternoon and welcome aboard Breeze Airways. Our flight crew today is Captain Chris and First Officer Gary. My name is Sean and I'm assisted by the wonderful Carly and Jordan in the main cabin of this aircraft. 2 exit doors at the front of the aircraft, 2 window exits over the wings, and 2 exit doors on the back of the aircraft. All exit doors are equipped with slides which can be detached and used.
Might be firefighting equipment? number 3? Yeah, this is plane number 3. I didn't record the other one. Finally. Seems to be our turn. 380. We made it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping. Great day, guys.
Alright, well, that was a pleasant enough flight. Yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase the nicer seat next time, but definitely because it was so close in comparison to the normal seats, yeah, it was worth it. Anyway, now I'm here in SFO and I have to make my way back to Davis. It's a weekday today, so I'm gonna try to do something a little more funky. Right now I'm making my way to the air train. And it looks like I can just walk through the door. Terminal 2 is definitely one of the nicest here at SFO, but unfortunately I have no time to explore it right now. It is 5:40 p.m. I'm trying to make my way to the rental car center to pick up a bus that leaves at 6. Originally I was going to go to Caltrain and then do a whole little thing from there, but because of the delay, that's not happening. So instead, I'm going on Samtrans. Air train awaits. Now, I'm hopping on the blue line today, and the reason being that I can take Samtrans Route 142 to the San Bernardino Park from there. Save myself just a little bit of money because BART overcharges for the airport. Long story, blame it on the airport. But I'm gonna take the Samtrans 142, which uses baby buses, to get to the San Bernardino BART, and then continue up towards the city from there.
Exit here for all international flights.
Okay, so I lied. This train was insanely packed. And what I realized was that I would not, in fact, make it to my bus. So instead, I'm just taking the L and hopping on BART. BART is going to take me into the city tonight. But I should be able to get some dinner. My life is so hard. On the plus side, there is a Richmond train right now. Not too shabby. So back in SF. Alright, I have 40 minutes until the bus I want to catch. I'm at Embarcadero Station. It's enough time for me to walk over to the Salesforce Center. I don't even tell you how much they charge you anymore. Alright, so Caltrain, those plans fell through, so that's not happening. But it is still a weekday and I still want to get some fun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to the Salesforce Center and I'm catching the AC Transit Route J. This is a weekdays peak only express bus service. And I'm gonna take that to the end, which is in Berkeley. And then from Berkeley, I'm gonna hop on Capitol Corridor, which should take me back to Richmond, or back to Davis tonight. There goes a Boston train. Anyway, since I still have 40 minutes, I'm going to go find a Subway sandwiches. And the reason for that is because originally, wait. Had to let Philly go through. And the reason for that is the Caltrain station has a Subway sandwiches, and originally my plan was to ride the shiny new electric trains to there and get a Subway sandwich and then make my way to Salesforce, but that fell through. So what I'm doing instead is just finding the closest subway so I can still get my sandwich. Anyway, thoughts on Breeze? Yeah, Breeze was good to me. It was a good airline. It was a quick flight. I would fly them again. Yeah, thought it was pretty fun. They had a very chill kind of vibe, but delaying the flight by like an hour to look for a missing passenger that they left in Provo was... Okay, I don't even know if that's what happened because none of it was communicated to us. I think that's the biggest problem. We would all be a little more understanding if it were communicated, but it just wasn't. SF, it is good to be back. Alright, I'm getting my sandwich. Goods acquired. Trolley bus is in sight. Oh, SF, it is good to be back. There's so much going on transit-wise on weekdays that just everywhere, really, that it makes me sad that I don't get to experience it more. But there is no use lamenting what time I don't have. Instead, my Subway sandwich and I are going to the Salesforce Transit Center, where I do have a bit of time, 20 minutes in fact, so a nice, comfortable layover before my ride to Berkeley tonight. Historically, the J has used double-decker buses, but today, no such luck. Instead, we will be boarding an AC Transit MCI bus, so at least it'll be nice and new. It's not the 2003 diesel MCIs, but still kind of cool. The silly little box is not in operation right now. Such a shame. Oh, Salesforce. It is nice to be back in SF, however briefly that may be. Ooh, battery Gillig. The Lynx is behind me. One of the other wonderful weekday services. Has an older MCI on it today, but I think I'll pass and instead take the J, which is going to be a very new MCI. Oh, look at this goofy looking thing. Walking around the nice park in my layover time. My time in SoCal, my time in Vegas, both were so good to me, but SF will always be in my top tier. That stupid little thing. The box is so funky, but you can only take it one direction and it's never open. So funky. The wind's whistling through the bamboo. Anyway, this is my ride. I'm going back down to the buses. Now, this actually will be my second time on the J. First time was in an MCI, the 2003 version, but those have long been retired. Today I'm going to ride the full route, which should end at the North Berkeley BART. And there goes the Lynx behind me, which could take me all the way to Hercules. Oh yeah, it's showtime. Solo seats. Crazy U-turn. As we run off into the sunset.
Please remain seated until the bus comes to a stop. Por favor.
Cool. Thank you. Have a good night. Alrighty. How's my ride? Well. I made it to the end of the line, University and Acton, which is near the North Berkeley BART. If I kept going down University or took the 51B, I'd be able to get to the Berkeley Amtrak station. But it is nighttime and the Berkeley Amtrak station is a little less than pleasant. So I'm going somewhere that is also not as pleasant, but just has more people, the Richmond BART. So to do so, I'm walking to the North Berkeley BART station, where I'm going to hop on a BART train to Richmond. I have about 40 minutes before my desired Capital Corridor train, so should be a good enough amount of time. It's so crazy how different the streets are. Like, look at this absolutely silent residential neighborhood compared to how I was in LA and San Bernardino today, where every street was like 50 miles an hour with 3 lanes. SoCal is truly a blight on urbanism, but the transit there still somehow makes do. This trip was good to me. North Berkeley is definitely one of the nicest among the Berkeley BART stations. It's just nestled here among the houses. Very quiet. Okay, it was very quiet. Ooh, the sunset's still pretty. BART cat. BART cat does not like me. Oh, let me love you. And here, in all of its rotund glory, is the North Berkeley BART. Now, I could have just taken that red line train a straight shot up to Richmond, and it would have been definitely faster, definitely cheaper. But by doing it this way, I get to see the rotund glory of the North Berkeley BART.
Red line service is not currently running. For yellow line service to Millbrae, take the Berryessa bound orange line to Carthage Station and transfer to the yellow line.
Alright, made it off the BART. Here at Richmond, I have 25 minutes to my train, which is a nice, comfortable connection. And then it's just the Capital Corridor back to Davis. Can't forget about our friends at AC Transit. With that, I'm at the Davis Amtrak station, but there's no time to wait for the train to leave, as I'm rushing off to the MU right now so I can catch a Unitrans bus to make my way home. Downtown is appropriately dead for the week before finals. Campus. After a long weekend spent with Excelsiors, now it's time for the Excelsiors that I know how to drive. Surprise guest appearance.
At 10 p.m. I'm so tired. It's way past my bedtime.
Week 10. Hunt Hall, home of the landscape design architects.
A personal hunt hell.
And with that, my very long weekend comes to an end. Yeah, this was the best SoCal has ever been to me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.